Oh, and there's a bang. We start with a bang. Alrighty. Got just a few tests to do, try and get the camera sorted. There's quite a lot of light behind me. Can't do too much about that. And if you're watching the replay, fantastic. This is the first live stream, and hopefully it's just an experiment at the moment. See if I can get the audio and everything working. And the goal is to do some of my paintings live, and that will, rather than just the short time-stamped versions, those paintings. Just find my tools. Yeah. And using OBS for streaming, and so far at least the picture's coming through and the video's okay. I just had to turn down the quality a little bit because it was screaming at me earlier. Start with a coffee. Okay. So I'm going to be doing this. You can see the reference photo there, and it's one I took quite some time ago. This is actually of my wife, who just loves being taken to strange places and asked to jump into a cocktail dress. Sit in the middle of a river. So she graciously did that for me. And back when I was really interested in photography and trying to come up with new ideas. And so I'm glad I saved the photo, because I'm now going to use that for doing a painting off her. And today I'm just doing the blocking in. How do we? Yep. So, yep, I'm just going to be blocking in because I wanted to do something safe on my first stream that ideally I can't really mess up. And we might have a couple of Bob Ross type moments where, say, oh, let's put in a tree here, a happy tree. You'll end up on this stream getting to hear all the scratchy sounds of me painting, along with probably about 50,000 ums, because that's how I talk. Yeah, I'm not really big on trying to edit them all out, or at this stage of my life learning how to not talk without saying My ums are like old friends. They tend to hang out with the R's. I'm working on a pastel mat. This is a 70 by 50 sheet. I've got it using some painter's tape just attached to some foam board. because it does have a tendency to curl in the heat. And we're in summer here. And while today, actually, I've got a sweatshirt on, it has been a bit humid. Not last night though. Here we go. We're already into autumn. Our pastel mat is a pretty new invention, and such a great invention it was too. Clairefontaine. So they spray a cellulose onto the card. That gives it this it's like rubbing cat fur. It's really been shaved down to the end, but you can actually feel the fibres, but they're depends on the board. Not like a sanded board. Friend on LinkedIn, an artist, Joanne, why am I saying Johanna? Joanna. She uses sanded boards, and I said I'd give a shout out. So if you're watching this on a replay, some of my friends from LinkedIn said they might watch it. I said I'd do a shout out to Shamila in South Africa, fantastic author and book editor, and Goodness David, fantastic name, Goodness David in Nigeria. Cheers me on. And she's going to be a rising star in the podcast world. Very tenacious. That's what she wants. And I decided I wasn't going to stream this on LinkedIn's got a live stream. But it's very busy for streaming on LinkedIn. There's lots of people doing it. Audio chats and podcasts going on, and the quality of video is not great. At least I have trouble with it. I use Firefox as my browser, and so many sites seem to hate that. I happen to like Firefox. So right, so normally I don't use black at all. I'm just throwing in some black here because it's going to be very dark, and I'm going to be going over with some blues and dark greens to get that shade in the background. And while it's the first layer, it's not such a big deal. Just bring up my picture, because that's better. That's better. And see what I'm doing there as well. Sorry for getting in the shot. Right. Some in here. I mean, a lot of people see these sponges. They go, oh, isn't that a makeup sponge? Let me assure you, it is not a makeup sponge. I've tried using makeup sponges with pan pastel, and they're designed for makeup, not pan pastels. So they don't work. This is much denser sponge. There's some also handily invented by, probably because they had to, the folks who invented pan pastel. because they needed something to apply it with. I'm sure they tried all sorts of different things to begin with to apply the pestle, but the pan pestle, which, you know, it is what it says on the tin. It's a pan, and it's full of pestle, which is just a pigment, same pigment that you'd use in oil paints, except it's not mixed with an oil. It's got a chalky binder and some gum. Oddly enough, I'm going to do a video about the makeup of pan pastels, or pastels in general, but they used to use a gum called Arabica, something like that. And now they actually use something that's used in food. It's odd. But the pan pastels are very, they're much finer than a stick pastel. So we've got a classic stick pastel. Well, in fact, it is classic because this is Winsor and Newton, and they don't make them anymore. This one's probably something years old. Should use them up. They go a bit brittle after a while. But those pastels have got more binder in them, and the pigment in pan pastels is incredibly fine. And some have referred to it as like doing a dry watercolor painting. Just move my reference photo around a little bit. Excuse me. So I can get all these darks in. Doesn't really matter because it doesn't look like there's anyone on line with me. That's okay. When you're starting out, probably Bob Ross had no one to begin with as well. Or he wasn't sure who was going to tune in. It all worked out for him, so I'm sure there'll be a few who catch up on the replays. That is the disadvantage of not streaming on LinkedIn, because at least on LinkedIn people get a notification that someone's streaming. That's quite nice. Oh, there's my friend. Decide whether you got the time to join or fussing about your own posts and got it today. So this the scene that this is taken from. Let's put some water line. Spear over there. This is going to come down a bit more. That's it. The scene where I took this was I'd actually gone for a walk along an old disused railway line, and I mean the actual railway line had been removed from the trains coming. But it had some tunnels and mountain bike. I mean, when I say this is an old photo, I mean it. Mountain biking was really just coming in at that stage, so it was becoming a popular trail for mountain bikes. But lots of ordinary cyclists would use it as well because it was just like a track, nice wide track. Coming down. This is going to be coming up. More sort of I'm just mapping out the painting by putting in some darks now, and I'm not trying to replicate the photo. I'm trying to, and I won't be, because all those where Helen's sitting on the big rock, and then there's a whole lot more rocks off the riverbed. I'll just turn that into water, I think. It'll work nicely because two reasons. One, I don't want to fiddle around doing all those little rocks. That would be sad. That's not the aim of the picture. The aim of the picture is to capture Helen sitting in the middle of a river. Ariel or mermaid from Little Mermaid story. Maybe her name was Ariel. I don't know. My kids have long grown up and I've stopped watching those Disney movies. If you are happening to be watching, I mean, I'll be checking the review later, but let me know if the sound is okay. According to me, the mic is actually working fine, but I'm not monitoring it, so I can't tell whether it is or not. And if you came to the stream and you went, oh, there was no one there, that's okay. It's okay, you're here now. So that's what, one, that's another, two. Yeah, so we'd walked, Helen and I probably walked about an hour, maybe a little bit longer, and she's there's actually a bridge just above her, old wooden railway bridge, and she got changed and jumped on the rock for me, complete with shoes, and it was fantastic. So I fluff around and I take photos, and however long that took, probably, I don't know. Yeah, she was probably freezing, putting up with it gallantly, and we were walking back, and it was starting to get dark, and we were like, oh, this is a bit of a drag. And coming by was a team who were doing an emergency exercise, lost and found, search and rescue exercise. And they said, oh, you want to ride? It'll be part of our exercise. I'm like, yeah, sure. So we went back in the Range Rover in luxury, saved our feet. So that was nice. It was a good day at the river. Straight. Right. Okie dokie. So, with PM pastels, to clean them off, you just get a roll of kitchen towel, paper towel. Just give it, don't push too hard as you're cleaning them. You'll see the pastels just coming off. It's a bit left, so if you push too hard, it'll eventually the sponges just start crumbling, and that's a bit tough. So then you've got to go buy some more. But the sponges will last you through a few paintings. Probably for my size, and I use the same sponge pretty much through the painting. So probably about 5 paintings, and then I need another sponge. That's pretty good. I'm just putting on It's phthalo blue. This is the dark shade. So phthalo blue extra dark actually. Should show you my palette. So we've got some phthalos, extra dark, pure, and a tint. Now this one here, bright yellow green, very good for the trees. We'll be using a bit of that. This is chromium. Yes, chromium oxide. Got an extra dark, a pure, and a tint. And then this one, permanent green. I think this is this phthalo? Yeah, phthalo green. So there's effectively 4 sets of green you can get in pan pastels, and they all blend together. So that's the beautiful thing. Up here I've got my turquoise, so extra dark, dark, pure, and tint. And this is sort of my landscape setup. And we had the black that I was using before as well. There's a load of blues. They're very good with the blues and pastels, but the actual set, I think if you get the whole lot, it's only about 80. It's not a lot compared to some of the pastel companies produce hand pastels. The variations you can get are stunning. How many different colours. And I'm hoping later this year to make my own. I've got the recipe, and I'm going to be using some natural pigment, and that's going to now roll my own, as they say. More coffee. Start at the top because even though pan pastels are very good, one of the things they don't do is create a lot of dust, and especially with this pastel matte paper, there's not a lot of dust. But it's just good practice to start from the top, because what happens is gravity comes into play and your dust will track down. And so if I started on Helen and then I'm doing, and she's going to be very light, she is the light in the painting, and then I finish off by doing the background, then the chances are that dust is going to drift into her and annoy the heck out of me, and that would not be a happy accident. It would be me forgetting to use common sense in painting and go, let's just keep everything clean. If I was using normal pastels, I'd be starting to, I would have just dragged the edge pastel, same way I'm using this really. You just hold your pastel, get one, dark one, little one. You just hold the pastel and do some dragging motions to fill up the tooth paper, and effectively this is, I'm just replicating the same activity but with my sponge. As I said, I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Earlier, it'll be 3 hours earlier than this one. And we will pull some. What's this going to be? And it'll be a regular weekly thing. I know a lot of artists rely on Patreon these days to pay their way. I've still got a part-time job consulting as my own company. I do strategic management. I've got a gig on at the moment. So while extra income streams are nice, I think it's good to put some stuff that's not behind a paywall. I'm probably standing right in front of it. Can't see what I'm doing. Normally I'm quite careful when I'm painting or filming myself paint to just get out of the way so the camera can capture my hands and not my back. But I haven't been concentrating because I'm sort of keeping an eye on the stream. Just getting used to chatting away while I paint. Normally they've got the music going flat out. My music to paint to soundtrack playlists, and we're actually gonna, this might just be dark or it's gonna be okay. Stuff. Right. Get some green going. Half an hour to go. Cool. I said I'd stream for an hour. Yeah, so the goal is to do the whole painting, stream the whole painting, so it's a go to woe. My paintings normally take anywhere between, if it's a very detailed one, about 24 hours paint time, about 10 hours of worry time, just panicking about the painting. Going, oh, I don't know that I can do this. About 20 hours of coffee time, just sitting around thinking about it. So a couple of weeks anyway. But this one, because I'm doing a sort of just doing a soft background, focuses on, it is on fun, not on the trees. They just have to, we'll just get a representation of the trees, and so rather than there being happy trees, the trees will make me happy. What are we doing down in some stuff going on? Yep. When you're painting, it's not like paint by numbers. You've got to make up the shapes yourself. I do have my drawing proportions sorted, but a lot of it is trying to work your way around, understand the movement of shapes, and the blocking in Blocking in is kind of the ugly stage. You go, I don't know what they're up to. What's he doing? There's an artist I watch, Pastels artist. She's very good. Not quite my style of how I would do things, but that's okay. Learning from her all the same. And she says in most of her videos people give up by during the ugly stage because they just can't picture what it's going to look like. It's pretty much life really, isn't it? People give up before it's come to life. Because I just can't picture what it is. Sort of sticking out. Now, Impasto is very much still is lots of little marks of colour that combined create the picture. I quite like working on a bigger piece. So do some bigger marks. What is this one? This is Thalo. Okay, we can different green going. I'm just sticking with my darks for now. This is chromium. Yellowy. It's okay. Down here. Some right. Commentary dried up. That must mean it's coffee time. Bit of blending. Right, so that chromium's giving me joy. Try the permanent green. See if we get happy. Yeah. So darks. Yep, we want to Let's get all our darks in, and we'll drop some lights on top. You can do it the other way. Great thing about some, you don't have to follow rules. It's a creative exercise. It's not a, I mean, if it's a business one, that's fine, and you make money out of it. But you think of some of the artists like Vincent van Gogh, or as some call him, Vincent van Gogh. He just painted what he saw and how he felt. I'm a big believer in that. How you feel. And if that's what you see in the picture, don't let some rule take away your joy of painting. More dark in there. It's a dark. Some rocks in there. This is definitely more sort of. Yeah, so if you want to paint light to dark, that's fine. Whatever works for you. I've tried it both ways. Painting light to dark and dark to light. I tend to actually paint more intuitively. It's just what I think should be there. Then a bit more of that. And this is the great thing about painting that I really like, is that the more you look at the more you look at what you're doing, at your picture, the more it will come to life for you, and you'll see different things. And your eyes just, yeah, normally when you look at a picture, you're seeing like a billion things all at once. Your brain's trying to process just what's the important information. Can I eat it? Is it dangerous? And some lights in. It's okay. And so, but when you, and so a lot of the details, you actually, your brain just goes, oh yeah, that's fine. I only want to know this information. And let's just skip. That's it. Yeah, your brain just goes, when you're painting, you start looking and you're just seeing shapes and different lights and colours, and you stop looking at the big picture, which is why often as an artist you've got to step back and look at your picture, because you can get so caught up in a little facet of it that you forget the rest. But you definitely, your eyes see the world differently. It's quite an experience. I find it quite useful for transferring into business skills, actually. because it makes me think and look at business differently. This is a permanent green. Popping. I'm going to regret this down, so need some. It's a phthalo green. Very bright. End up knocking it right back. It's really it's blended in. It'll be fine. Great thing about going out and nature. Oh, trees are green. You know, that's the old joke, isn't it? Knock, knock. Who's there? Teresa. Teresa who? Trees are green, didn't you know? Well, what type of green? So many variations on that theme of green. And stuff. And now the sun's come out and it's unbearably hot here in the studio. Let me just check the temp. Oh, it's not that bad. We're only pushing 25, but that's 25 is. Let me get the drinks. This is the special drinks notification. 24. So what's that? 73, 74 Fahrenheit. That's not so bad. Oh, there's someone that's joined. Hello, whoever's joined. Very welcome. Say hi in the chat if you want to. It's been only got about 15 minutes left to go today, and just blocking in. Trees are green. And now, which one was I using? Let's try this. This is, oh yeah, that's what this one is. So let's pull some permanent green and a bit darker. So ideally, what's going to happen around Helen's here is it's going to be absolutely glowing in the light. And we're going to turn this, what was an overcast day. Yeah, we might still keep some darkness in it, but she's going to be a really bright wee light stand out against this blurry tree background. Let's get some more of that chromium. Put it down before and went, oh, I don't like that. That's what I need. And a bit more black. So just shapes. In fact, it's just shades really. We haven't even got to shapes yet. The pastel matte takes quite a lot of layers, and you're not gonna clog it up with and pastel to begin with because it's so fine. If I was to use a regular pastel stick, that leaves a lot of chalky dust all across, and it will fill up quite quickly, which is why pencil artists enjoy using pastel mat, because they're only doing light little strokes, and then it's very light touch, and they can put in tons and tons of layers. I watched one of my favourite pastelists recently. He was using fixative for the first time that I'd seen him use it, and so he got a lot more depth into it. Might give that a go. We're going to bring in some hazy turquoise to represent just a bit of haziness behind. So these are my turquoise I've learnt make a great sort of misty colour. And in the past I've gone, oh, I should use grey. So this is the, see that? This is turquoise extra dark. And it looks grey. So when you look at the, it's this that's been mixed with black to get the shade, and you mix it with white to get its tint. But I've found that the turquoise works fantastic in trees, so I'm going to be putting some around here. Dark one first. And in my, so I did one off recently. I've yet to put the video of it up. Ended up using a lot of turquoise, not just in the water but in the trees as well. Really impressed with the effect it was giving. Just like a mist across the trees. We'll put some down rocks, and we're going to get some of those rocks in turquoise down a shade. There we go. This is going to be rock. Okay, river rocks. And we're going to darken up those rocks. Go. Let's get a suggestion of where they are. Great wee bronze. So the thing with let's go back. Locking this in. The thing with I want to have one of these, which is it. Hello. Permanent. Thing with art is you've just got to be patient. keep, or pastels anyway, it's very easy to lose your way, which is why I put in these dark patches to begin with, to go, oh yeah, just remind myself sort of roughly where everything is on the picture. Let's get in there, lighten that up later. It's quite dark. This comes down. Shape. Black's a bit of a tricky colour to play with because it just it's like a steamroller and just flattens everything out. How are we going for time? 10 minutes. Cool. Okie dokie. That's getting there. I'm going to put some more blue and green. And this with a I was going to say foam brush, it's not really a brush at all. Wedge. I'm trying to get slightly different angles so it's not going to doesn't look all the same. That's what you're trying. Word statement. Pastel matte to begin with. Unforgiving. Or M pastels. Because it's such a grabby paper. And it's not until you've got a bit down that it starts blending properly. And I haven't bothered to put a sharp edge down here. I don't mind my paintings seeing the work come to the end. And that's just me. Some find it messy. I like it. Let's get some. There's not much light happening behind. I want that contrast, a little bit too carried away with turquoise, so we'll just knock that back a bit. These are gonna, but we do want the turquoise for those stones. Alright, so this is starting to come right. This is still a mess. Sort of get some buffiness going on there. Buffiness. So right across. And I can get caught up trying to replicate the picture as well, which annoys me when no, you're just looking for the vibe. I'm just looking for a tree vibe. It's going to be ochre type. Ochre. That. Something. Goes quite dark. And then if I just try a lights, yeah, there we go. So this is the bright, this is bright yellow green, and I've been using a little bit of the extra dark, which is funny, isn't it? Bright yellow green, extra dark. Contradiction. But the actual, you go, oh, it's yellow. Well, yes, it is. Yellow green. And it just, it's perfect for trees. There's a little bit of sun dancing on them. Going to map in a bit where I want to. Comes going on here. Dark in here. So I stayed away from. I watched a few vids on, as you do, YouTube University. I watched a few vids on painting. We're going, don't use black. Don't use black. I'm like, why have they made it then? Why have they made it? I mean, in a pastel, most of the time you're not blending the colours together. You're like using what you've got. And then I went, you know what? I'm just gonna use it. And you know what? The sky didn't fall in. It was fine. What were they going on about? You want go down there. Some contrast around here. Right there. Now you will reach a point in your painting. I do pastels that you oversaturate. You get carried away and you put too much down, and then you've lost it. Just got to watch it a little bit around here. Some alrighty. Okay, so it's 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in New Zealand, and I said I'd do an hour stream. I'll be back tomorrow to finish off blocking that in. I think I'll block in the water as well. Get through there. This is pretty good for an hour's work. It'll look better soon. You know, it's like you can't worry about it. You go, yep, I just got to do this stuff first. It's like painting a house. You got to strip off all the old paint, do all the sanding. The house looks terrible, and then and then you paint it and it looks fine, right? So I'm just doing the prep work. So I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll probably stream in the evening as well for some of my see if anyone from India or Africa wants to join in. I'd like to thank you very much for joining in with me. If you're watching it on the replay, thanks so much. Things can only get better, right? Leave me a comment about the sound quality or the video quality. Can't really critique the art because it's only just started. You can critique it later on. That's your thing. But if the setup was good, this is my first stream. So yeah, just some feedback on whether it worked or not would be great. And let's see if I can, how do I stop the stream now? Go. And it's all a learning curve. Stop streaming, there's